Okay, this, I still have to put lights up in the ceiling. Windows have to be trimmed, painted. And then once that's done, then I can start putting the teak floor all through here. The other side, this is the spa. The other side is, I'm just waiting still for 4 windows. That's been a couple months. Okay, this is one of the other houses. This is a 4-bedroom house. And this right here, I already have that one. This is the nano door that's gonna go in there. And I think we'll start working on that next week. Oh, that window's gotta come out and then we're gonna put a door in there. All set for the nano door over here. Ceiling should be done, I think by tomorrow. There's another side over here that isn't done yet, but that'll take care of this, and then painting and lights. Okay, this one we're gonna hopefully finish off today. Plywood's on the floor. I still gotta put down some more Tapcons to put it in. Ceiling's up, lights need to go in, painting's gotta be done, and then we'll be able to put the teak flooring down on here, hopefully. There's still a good bit in this one, but this one will be like a gallery, I think, so we'll see. And then of course, all of this will be tiled. This is going to be check-in right here. And you can see the lights plenty bright, these little LEDs. And I'm hoping today we're going to work on painting on this, and then this room will be pretty much ready to put flooring in, pretty much. Little lights that'll get embedded in the tile, and those will shine up. I think I showed you pictures of those before already. Plumbing is in for the bathrooms. I just got to put a ceiling fan in here, and then I'll have to drill out through that concrete to put the, the exhaust part. Okay, so it's not 7 o'clock. I usually get here 6:15, 6:30. I have a lot of buildings to open up. I look around, solidify my plan for the day, and then I wait and see who shows up. That's how that goes. I'm hoping that everybody shows up, of course, all the time, but that's not always the case. So then when they get here, then I tend to have to readapt the plan according to who's come and who hasn't come. Okay, just had to go pick up some painting supplies, but they didn't have all the things I needed, of course. So unfortunately, the painters don't have brushes to cut in. They're gonna have to make do because I just don't have them. That's how it goes here. You go, you look for something, and nope, they don't have it. So then you have to move on and say, okay, make do with what you've got, do the best you can. Day's going well. Got a new painter today, and talked to one of the other painters. So hopefully the one I talked to, hopefully things go well. Let's put it that way. He's a good painter. Well, I gotta run back down to Unique's.
I need some electrical parts. I really think it would be easier. Well, this one was my fault, but a lot of days, if you could just put it in a tube, you know, like they have at the bank, I could, you know, just call them up and say, hi, I need blah, 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 blah. And they put it in the tube, and then bing, pops over there. That would be pretty slick, huh? I'm pretty sure you've heard me say this before, but the number one business, industry, whatever here is tourism. Number two, which is an offshoot of that, is construction. And that offshoot is because if the tourism market does well, then secondarily to that, people come, they've had a great time, they love it here, they want to buy a house, they want to build a house. So that's second. So this is leading up to employment. Those are the two big industries. There's, you know, side shoots, but they all pretty much interconnect into that, those two others. So the employment thing here is not, you know, this island has what, maybe, I don't really know, but 8 to 12,000 people in 110 miles. Not very densely populated. And those two industries are key to the employment. And the employment here, I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm pretty sure that we have a relatively high unemployment rate, which, you know, it's one of those things. Without enough skills and offshoot businesses for people to do and try, you're kind of stuck into those two or anything that is presently serving those two. Excuse me. One of those things that, you know, the employment factor, so many people here long, I mean, oh, if I could just get a government job. And government jobs are not high-paying jobs. They're just consistent every week, all the time kind of jobs. And I think, like, when you start on a government job, I think the minimum is $225 a week for a government job. And, you know, I've talked to people about this, and it's like, who do you think pays for these government jobs? Oh, the government. Okay, grant you, yes. Where does the government get the money? The government gets the money from customs, imports, you know, taxes, things like that. So that's why when you complain about the taxation of stuff, those government jobs, and in that particular case, I was talking to government people, employees, and they were like, yeah. So on one hand, they're complaining about they've gotten their government job that they've longed for because it's a relatively stable, easy, not very hard to have to do type job. You come to work, you know, 4 or 5 days a week, most of the time, sometimes. Don't do anything super bad, and you keep your government job. The government can't sustain that. So this economy needs more offshoot type jobs so that people don't have to have the government jobs or long for the government jobs. They need to be able to have other businesses, and this is part of and I understand it, it's a small country, with so many people here not able to branch out, expand, start new businesses. They need more foreigners to be able to start these businesses and then employ people, have new ideas coming in. But because the Bahamas tends to be so protectionist, I don't know if it'll ever happen. So if it doesn't happen, relying just on those two, construction and tourism alone, I don't know how far in the long, big picture that's going to go in order to keep, you know, an economy going. It's yet to be seen. But, you know, there's a lot of different factors when you live on an island and it's a different country. And you have to take all of those things when you're looking at what is into account. Remember, This is not the US. It may be 180 miles from there, but this is not the US. Whole different culture, whole different world. Everything here is different. Oh, before I forget, the reason I brought up this tourism, construction, employment thing was because I was working and all of a sudden I hear knock knock on the door, and there's a guy outside and he says, excuse me, I heard you're looking for a painter. That's how word travels here. I didn't even know this guy, but somebody said something to him and he came, found me at my house and asked if he could get a job. Unfortunately for him, I just hired 2 painters today. So, but that's how word travels here, that quick.